Hey y'all, Ms. B, and I haven't done a hot topics in a while because honestly there's been nothing interesting really to talk about. And then also everything that's going on in the blogosphere and the YouTube streets has been very dark. And so I was like, I don't really feel like getting on here and talking about this. But here I am, and let's talk about a couple of things. Lil Nas X. I want to preface this by saying I have not watched I don't follow Lil Nas X on socials. I have not watched Lil Nas X in years. I don't follow anything he's done or does or anything. Because he started to be a caricature in a very bad way. And what I mean by a caricature, I guess trying to be something that he's not, as far as playing with the devil. I remember the first time I saw him playing with the devil, well, I would say, tapping into his Satanism or whatever it is that he was doing, was when, like, the Wendy Williams show was still on. And he had came out with those shoes that was 666 with blood in them, with all this satanic symbolism on them, to the fact that Nike had to tell the manufacturer, whoever made them, to take the shoes down. Then after that, we get a video of him twerking on the devil. At that point, I was like, okay, yeah, no, I don't play with God. And then when he pretended to be Jesus and played with the Lord's Supper. I'm a Christian and I know the symbolism of the Lord's Supper, and it's very important. It's not a tradition. It's not even a tradition. It's something that should not be mocked. So as I was scrolling down my timeline last week and I saw Lil Nas X, boom cock and boom cat, giving the girls all of this. Wait. Hey, babe, coming to the party? All of that down the middle of Ventura Boulevard in California. I was like, oh, God, here we go. What another Lil Nas X stunt. And then I was like, this man out here in the 4 o'clock in the morning in his panties, in some boots, doing a whole runway. Then eventually find out that we didn't see during those first initial videos was that he actually got butt, ball, booty naked and charged at the cops. Now this little boy, you can call him a little boy, is facing 1, 2, 3, 4 felonies. Serious. So when I was looking, I kept watching the video. I'm like, he gotta be high. He gotta be on something, because nobody in their right mind. I don't care how many stunts and how many stunt queens there are out there after the video that we saw of him boom cat and I was like, well, I don't see why he would get 4 felonies from that, but to know that he got butt ball naked, put a cone on his head, had to be tased. Like, you can hear the audio from the police asking if they could tase him. You can hear him being zzz. So I mean, can imagine what he was doing at that point. Because usually when police ask, have to use, in a perfect world, when they have to use force, it's because you doing the most and they can't control you. And usually when people are like on those heavy substances, they be having like superpower strength. So for him to assault, was it 3 or 4 cops? Yeah, I think he was on something. I was listening to Breakfast Club when it first happened. Charlamagne was like, he thinks it's a stunt. I was thinking it's a stunt too. Then he sat in jail all weekend long because he had to see a judge. And yesterday we got to see his bail hearing. When I looked at that little boy and I saw him crying, I had a different thought process. I said, he's lost. He looks very, very lost. I feel like when he came up, he was like really like 23 or something when the Old Town Road came up. And I remember during that time before he started being a stunt queen, boom cat. Ready for the party, guys? I remember a show that he was on. I forgot this show they used to have in the barbershop. I forgot the name of it. It used to come on HBO. I think Kevin Hart used to be like producing it or something. And I remember him talking with very good sense at a very young age. And about him coming out of the closet and how he couldn't come out the closet when he was in the hood. And I want to see how Lil Nas came from being that person that I saw years ago on that special that I forgot what that show was called. I don't think it's on anymore. They used to be sitting in the barbershop. Jay-Z was on there one time, and him articulating himself like he couldn't be who he was. He starting to feel like himself, to turning into the boom cat that we saw on the video and being butt naked. And I think when I saw him doing his bail hearing yesterday, I think reality clicked in his head. You could see it in his eyes when he started crying. I felt bad for him. I did feel bad for him. And as a woman of God, I have to give him some grace. I think he got lost in the sauce of this dark, demonic industry. That's what it seemed like the music industry is to me. It seemed like it's very dark. It's very heavy. And I think he got really caught in it. A lot of people was pulling up a lot of his TikToks. Him just doing a lot, just not being himself. It seemed like everybody that get into this music industry, they build you up to the stratosphere and tear you down. I've seen it with all the legends that are no longer here. Oops, earring fell off, y'all. I saw it with all the legends that are no longer here. And I hope one of the legends that I lost in the industry, that this is a lesson for him and a wake-up call. Because I don't know if his boom cacking during Ventura Boulevard, forget this damn ring, started off to be a stunt gone wrong, or he really was lost. But when I saw him yesterday, to the fact when his lawyer was talking and she was saying, well, his family's here, you know, Your Honor, da-da-da-da, he turned his face and he cried. And when you see him walk out of that jail cell with his head down, I hope that this was a wake-up call and that he finds himself. Because 4 felonies, that ain't no joke. I also would like to see the body cam footage. Where is the body cam footage that they needed to use excessive force and that he, you know, assaulted the cops? But I also am in confusion because they kept saying, his lawyer and his dad kept saying that he wasn't on any drugs. Okay, my eyes is deceiving me, I guess. Or that he wasn't having a mental breakdown. It was obviously one of the two. The boy was overwhelmed and needed some vices to clear his overwhelmness, because they say his music wasn't popping. Like, like I said, never paid attention to him, but I mean, like, people used to play his music, I guess. And I see one TikTok where he was like, I'm in my flop era. He was just doing a lot. And yeah, I hope, I'm gonna give him grace like his dad asked us to, and hope this is a wake-up call for him to get himself together. He's very young, but it's like a tale of all times. The music industry, they build you up. They build you up, honey. And then I think they love to see the fall, because we had been not talking about Lil Nas X in I don't know how long. Maybe the little children or the kids, the Gen Zs, I don't know. Not me. Because I don't associate with people who play around with God. And that's a lot that's going on with a lot. I've been seeing that a lot lately with a lot of artists. Oh, I'm saved, and using that as some type of schnick to get to, I don't know, some album release or whatever. But yeah, I don't play with people. And him twerking on the devil, the 666 shoes, the mocking of the Lord's Supper. I'm sorry. Yeah. He was out of my, he was completely out of my scope of anything that I was watching on socials. But yeah, on Breakfast Club, Charlamagne said he think it was a stunt, but baby, if it was a stunt, it was a stunt completely gone wrong. Cause now somebody that's never had any charges in his life has 4 felonies. Then another thing I want to mention, his mother is heavily, deeply lost in the disease of drugs, and she lives on the street. And I hate the fact that people are going to Atlanta exploiting that woman, because drug addiction is a disease, and it's just sad. It's just a sad situation. That's why I didn't really want to talk about it. I didn't want to come out here and do it, but everybody's talking about it, so here I go, and I'm talking about it. The next craziest ish that I've been hearing about or seeing about is Tamar Esteem Braxton. Tamar, what happened to your teeth? Why did you wake up in a pool of blood? First and foremost, I follow Funky Dineva. Been following Funky Dineva since when Scandal was on, like 2012, back in those days. I've been following him for years. I remember him and Tamar used to get along for a long time. Now they cool. Every time he be like, oh yeah, me and Tamar went to Ruth Chris. We went to Houston, da-da-da. I remember seeing on Instagram the night they went out, a Saturday. I think it was a Saturday. I don't know. One night. And they were all walking in the club. And apparently it was supposed to be his birthday celebration because his birthday just passed. But she was just walking the club and, you know, and you could tell Funky Dineva not really with all that. He'll tell you, like, he not with all that rah all the time. Like, he don't really like that scene. I think he do because it's his job. But then after that, he like to be chilling, whatever. And you could tell, look at Funky Dineva's energy in that video. He just looked like he did not want to be there. He looked like, yeah, I'm not with all of this. Anyway, he let us know his show the day after Tamar posted that she woke up in a pool of blood, lost 4 teeth, and he asked him for Dr. Heavenly's number, and she wrote this post. In my head, I'm thinking, like, if I woke up in a pool of blood, Lord Jesus, with missing 4 teeth and my nose broke, and somebody found me, and I said I almost died, why would I get on Instagram? Why would the first thing I'm going to do is pick up my phone and tell the whole world without telling anybody what happened? Then you leave room for speculation. Funky Dineva made it perfectly clear after the club. He, I guess, they shared the same Uber. Got to her house. He hopped in there. His car went home, went somewhere else. He don't know. He kept calling her the lady, and everybody was making a big deal because he called her the lady. If you've been following Funky Dineva for years, he has certain ways he refer to people, whatever, and had nothing to do. He don't know what happened to her. He said that. He said he swear on his nephew's life he had nothing to do with her. So then speculation started coming out of all these different things, and Tamar just leaving these little breadcrumbs for people to speculate, and then somehow Mendices enters the chat. And I'm like, Lord, what? Mendices? Originally from Love and Hip Hop New York, that's now in Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, which I don't watch. That Mendices and Tamar go together. Apparently, girl, that night at the club that we saw the reels of, she was all snuggled up with Mendices, and I guess she wanted to have after party, which Funky Dineva said he did not go to. And the child woke up missing teeth, needed Dr. Heavenly's number, and a broken nose. Then it came out that Mendices was working with her on a visual project. What? A visual project. Mendices. Let's recant. What I remember from Love and Hip Hop New York, Mendices was a dope boy who got arrested and went to jail. Yandy held him down, held his kids down, held his mama down, held everybody down. I have not watched any recent years of Love and Hip Hop, how they got from New York to Atlanta, but I've never known Mendices to be anything in the music industry or connected other than him being associated with Yandy, and Yandy used to be with Violator, and Violator was once owned or ran by Mona Scott Young, who is the producers of Love and Hip Hop. That's the only thing that I know the connection of Mendices to be in the music industry. And of all the people in Atlanta, Tamar, you pick Mendices? And they keep saying he's not, he a married man. He's not a married man. Girl, I don't know if they ever legally got married, but I know when he went to jail to save herself and her assets, they did not legally get married, but we saw them have a wedding on TV. It was all pomp and circumstance, and they both cheat on each other from what I hear. But I don't watch Love and Hip Hop. But I'm just like, I be rooting for Tamar so hard because Tamar can sing her face off. Love and War is one of my favorite albums. I can just listen to it from from beginning to end. I have so many songs that I love on there, and I'm like, girl, you got the talent. You have the voice. Should I say better than your sister? Why are we always seeing your antics if it's not from you messing with this Colonel Sanders looking dude and he gonna mess with Tommy, and then you was messing with the dude that wanted to be your fake ass Wakanda Forever dude that was about to push you out the car, and you needed us to pray for you then, and we needed us to pray for you when you was with Colonel Sanders and his bang, and then now, girl, where your teeth is missing, you in a pool of blood, and everybody speculate. Now she put out another thing right before I came here, y'all, saying in her dress, smiling, some old picture. Wait till you hear my story. All I know is Tamar, you have a beautiful voice. Love and War is great. I don't understand what is going on with you. It seems like Vince was the anchor. My soul been anchored in your life, but he didn't move on. He got another woman, and you don't see nothing about Vince. You don't hear nothing about Vince. Talking Vince in these streets. Anyway, that was my quick hot topics. Lil Nas X, Boom Cat. Hey babe, going to the party? To 4 felonies. Tamar, party, we like to party. Wake up, missing 4 teeth in a pool of blood. And then I was like, well, then who found you there? And then I was like, somebody was already there? Did they wake? It's just so many questions. I don't know. I have so many questions. Even with Lil Nas X situation, I didn't see no car. Did he walk all the way down Ventura Boulevard in his cowboy boots? I know his feet was hurting shit. Oh, that's probably why he took them off at some point, because they're on eBay right now going for $20,000. Anyway, y'all, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts on Lil Nas X. Tamar waking up in a pool of blood missing on her teeth. What is going on in this world today? My God, my God. And let me know your thoughts. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.